I wouldn't do it again for all the makeup in the world. Or would I? I would. Hi Baes, welcome back to Manifest Bae, where we come together to manifest your best life. So you know the Makeup by Mario palette, or the whole line actually, came out recently. And I didn't want to order it online because I live in Arizona, it's hot. When you order makeup online, it messes up the consistency. It's horrible. So I just decided to quickly stop into my Sephora near my job when I got off work and just get in and get out, get the palettes and go. And when I walked in there, I don't know, it was weird because it just made me remember back to when I used to work there. This was many years ago. And how things kind of come full circle. And it's strange when you think about it. So let me stop rambling like I'm crazy. Let's get into it. So this was years ago. Probably like, maybe like 7 years ago, maybe. I had a full-time day job and I had a friend who also worked with me. We shared a cubicle. And she worked at Sephora. And so I didn't know this. Back then, I wasn't into makeup at all. I mean, I think I had like a L'Oreal lip gloss and lip liner and mascara. That was it. Like, and that I thought I was like hot shit with that on, right? So she would, apparently Sephora gives away free makeup. It's called gratis. I had no idea. So she would come in to work. Every time she got her gratis, she'd bring it. And then we worked later in the day. So everyone pretty much was off by 3:30. We worked until 5. And so from 3:30 to 5, when everybody was gone in the office, she would pull out her gratis. And we would go through it and she would tell me what the makeup was, what it did, what the brand was, just different things about it she would tell me. And I remember being fascinated by like all this makeup and these brands and just this whole new world, okay, that I didn't know anything about. And sometimes she would even do like, I don't want to say a makeover, but she would like do my eyebrows, or we'd practice with contour or highlighting or whatever. It was amazing, okay? I just couldn't believe that this makeup world was so vast and just amazing. So I thought to myself, if she can get a job at Sephora, I feel like I could too. And that's not a shot at her, just she and I both worked the same job. We were exhausted by the time we got off work. So what I meant was like, if she could get the energy to go and do this job after work, why couldn't I? Why couldn't I do something like that? So I went down, I went online, I applied, I interviewed. I think it was 3 interviews I had to go through. I don't know. I just remember thinking, why so many interviews? Like, I thought it was an entry-level position. So I would think 1 interview, do they like you? Do they not? You leave. No, it was 3 different interviews. And I was like, okay. I mean, it is Sephora. It's the elite of the elite, of makeup stores. I mean, I guess that makes sense. So I do all these interviews, right? I get the job, I go to orientation. I didn't know a single thing about makeup. Nothing. I didn't know how to put makeup on. I didn't know anything. Okay, when I don't know how I got the job because I didn't know anything about makeup. Maybe it was my witty personality. Who knows? But I get the job. I go through orientation, which was really fun. And then I start my first day at work. Now, a couple things about Sephora. They have themes. So every week is a different makeup theme that you have to follow. So they give you a card stock with the look that you're supposed to use or create. And you can vary it a little bit based on your own style, but for the most part, you stick to that motif. Now imagine me being brand new to makeup, not knowing a single thing that I'm doing, right? And then being given this card with this like glamazon on it that has all of these makeup looks. And I'm looking at this card like, who's gonna put this on my face? Who's gonna be the one to put the eyeshadow here and the contour? Who's gonna do it? Oh, I'm gonna do it. Oh, okay. So I would take the little card home and I would practice with the little makeup that I had. I would practice, and you know what? I will give it to myself. I did okay. I was able to do the looks. I wasn't the best at them, but I think they kind of liked that, because for people who are shopping at Sephora, if you see a bunch of girls who have their makeup flawless, you might be intimidated. But if you see someone whose makeup just looks kind of regular, you might be encouraged. At least that's what I told myself when I would come in. And I mean, these girls, the looks that they would do, I mean, they might as well be like artists, like painters or something. There's no way I could ever do what they did, but I did my best. But I grew to dread. I would start to have dread every week thinking about the looks that we had to create, because I just was not up to par at all. And so that was one of the challenging pieces of it. Next, my first week, they didn't have my uniform. So Sephora, you used to have to wear like the dress with the pockets in it. They didn't have one for me yet. So when I got there, they were like, just wear black slacks and a black shirt, and that'll be good enough for you until your uniform comes. So back then, I mean, when I tell you guys that I was like poor, I had like no money. I did have a decent paying job, but I had a lot of bills. I was trying to catch up on some debts that I had and pay them off. So I had like little wiggle room for anything. So I just wore a pair of black pants that I had. They were professional pants. They're pants I wore to work. And then I wore a black collared shirt, tucked it in. Simple, right? So the first day, they're like, take these go backs, put them away. This would be a great way for you to learn the store. Great, I'm thrilled. I'm putting the go backs, I'm taking them all to the store to put them away. And one of the girls there, she used to always cut her eyes at me. She looks at me and she's like, are you shopping? And I was like, no, I'm working. And she's like, you're working? And she looks at me like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, do you not see the basket with the freaking products in it? What do you think I'm doing? Like, I'm putting things away. And she's like, oh, she's not a manager, she's not a supervisor, she's just another person that works there. So literally I get the little thing, like 5 seconds later, I get the little message in the intercom that everyone can hear. And it's, Siobhan, can you come to the back and chat with me for a second? So I'm just like, what could I have possibly done? I've been here like 2 hours, I go in the back and they're like, we're having a problem with your outfit. And I'm like, but it's black slacks, it's black shirt, which is what you told me to wear. You don't have my uniform yet. So what is the problem? And they're like, well, it's just too tight and it's not professional. Now, mind you, there were other girls who were working who had like the slacks that you could wear. They were like Sephora slacks that you could wear that were tight as all hell. Mine weren't even that tight. I think I just had body, I mean, I'm not like a stick. I had, you know, I got ass, I got legs, I don't know, but they were like, your clothes are too tight. You know, you can't wear this anymore. And they're like, we'll let you finish the day, but you're gonna have to wear something else. And I'm thinking, well, I'd love to wear something else. If you would give me the uniform that I'm supposed to wear when I started here, I would wear that. So I was really upset about it, especially because everyone heard me get called into the back. So all eyes are on me. And then, you know, I felt really bummed. Like, you know, it's my first day. I was all excited. I've been so nice to everyone. And then I just get called out like, oh, your clothes are too tight. And I just thought, I don't know, I was just really sad. Sad is the good word for it. I was just really sad about it. But I just sucked it up. You know, I took a couple seconds in the back and I just went out and did my work. I mean, one thing about me, I will get upset about something, but it's life. I mean, you don't like my tight clothes, so what? What am I supposed to do about it? And so I just finished my day and, you know, it was fine. And, you know, the next couple weeks that I worked there, I actually grew to really love it. I learned a lot about makeup, a lot about the products. I took a ton of samples home. I tried so many things. That was fun. I enjoyed my gratis. That was cool. Every month I'd get a big old like heavy bag of free makeup. And I thought that was so cool. And that really helped me to learn more things. It was awesome. That part was cool. It was nice. And so it wasn't horrible, except, you know, this particular Sephora that I worked at was way on the other side of town. So after I got off work, I had to fight traffic all the way to this Sephora, which was an hour away. And then I would have to do my makeup really fast in the car, get out and go to work. This is after working all day and I was in school. That I didn't like. So by the time I got to work, I was exhausted. I mean, I didn't want to talk to anybody about concealer, about highlighter, about foundation. I didn't care. I was just like, listen, I work a full-time job. Wasn't their fault, but I was just so tired. And so that part was hard. What was also hard was closing at the end of the night. I don't know if it's because I was new, but I had to do all of like the grunt work. So I had to like take trash to the dumpster. I had to empty all the trashes in the store. I had to like clean all of like the sample stations, which again, I didn't care. I mean, I'm new. So if I gotta pay my dues doing that, I'm all right with it. But it felt like I was always the one that had to do it. Nobody else had to. Also, I didn't know a lot about makeup. So when I would get a question from a customer and I would ask on the intercom, I wouldn't always get an answer. And I didn't think that was cool. I felt like when other people would say something, they would get a response. But when I did, crickets. And I would just be stuck in front of this customer, you know, and they'd be like, what's your best-selling highlighter? And I'd be like, what is a highlighter? Like in my head, you know, I'm like, how would I know? So, you know, it just forced me to have to really learn the brands and learn more about makeup, which is fine. I mean, that's ultimately what I wanted to do. And so I just remember kind of being irked by that. Also, some of the customers at Sephora can be very condescending, very judgy. And it baffles me because, you know, you never know why someone is working where they work. And I'll give you an example. So Sephora was my part-time job. I really did it because I was fascinated by makeup. I was intrigued by all the free makeup. I needed a discount because I didn't have it in my budget to buy makeup like that. But I did have a career outside of Sephora. I did work at a really great job that paid me decently. But I would have customers come in and they'd be like, oh, well, I'll give you one example of a real person. She came in and she was telling me how she got this great job and how much money she makes. The money that she was making, I was making way more than that in my daytime job. But the way she was talking to me, she was like, oh yeah, I'm making such and such dollar an hour and I have benefits and da 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 da. And I'm thinking, yeah, so does like the whole world. Like, what are you talking about? And then at the end, she was like, yeah, you know, if you ever want to like not do this anymore and like make like real money or have a real career, she's like, I could like put a word in for like one of our entry-level positions. And I remember just thinking, you know, I have a bachelor's and I work for a really great company. I'm really here because I like makeup, but I also can't afford to spend $400 a month in makeup. Like, it's just not in my budget. So I'm here for the discount and the free makeup. But thank you for the offer. I mean, I don't know. And I would get people like that all the time, that they would treat you like, oh, you just work in retail. And it's like, you have no idea like my life or what I'm doing outside of this. It just irked me. And some of the girls, they just weren't very nice. They just weren't. And it just got to a point where I just didn't feel like this was where I needed to be. And it was nothing against Sephora. They have a great company. They have great values. And there were some really great people that I did work with that I still see to this day. A lot of them got moved to the Sephora right by my house. I see them all the time. Well, not anymore because of COVID. I don't really go in. But when I used to, I would come in, I'd hug them. I would just squeeze on them, ask them how they're doing. But there were very few of those. There were a lot more of the other girls that were just so rude and so catty. And I just thought, I'm good. Like, this was a part-time job for me. This was just something I was doing to get a discount. I don't have to put up with this. So I just quit. Honestly, I just didn't go in one day. I just was supposed to drive to work and I just kept on going and went and did something else. And I just want to say this: never, ever, 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 ever quit a job without any kind of notice. It's rude, okay? It's unprofessional. You leave your employer scrambling. It's just wrong. And I did that to them. And to this day, I feel terrible. And every once in a while, I run into the manager, she was actually really nice. I mean, I really did like her. Every once in a while, I'll see her at Sephora and I'll feel terrible. I really will. I feel so much shame for that. I should have been more woman about my choices and I should have just told her how I was feeling. But I didn't. And to this day, I feel bad about that. And I wish I could make it better. But I mean, this is so long ago. What is the point? But I just quit. But when I quit, I told myself, I said, I'm quitting because even though this free makeup is awesome and it's nice because I can't afford it, one day I'm not gonna have to worry about that. One day I'm just gonna be able to walk into Sephora and buy what I want and spend however much I want and not even worry about it. Like, just go in and drop $200, $300, $400 and walk out. And I said, that's what the mindset is that I need to have. So forget coming here, working all day just to get, a bag of free makeup a month, stressing yourself out, wear and tear on your body and your car. For what? For a bag of free makeup because you can't really afford to buy makeup like you want to? I was like, no, I'm gonna quit, but I'm gonna bust my ass so that in the future, I can just buy makeup when I want to. And that is literally what I did. And that's what made me think about it when I went in to get this Makeup by Mario palette that I just bought. I went online to see what I wanted, and I just put the stuff in the cart. I was like, oh, I want that. That's cute. I want that. I don't really need brushes. Won't get that. Put it in the cart because I like to shop with the items in my cart, so like on my phone, so I don't forget. So I just walked in, I looked at my phone, each item, I plopped it in the little, bag, and I just walked right up to the register and I paid for it. And I'm a Rouge member at Sephora, so I handed my little card and the guy's like, ooh, he's like, thank you for being a Rouge member. And it was so weird. I flash back to me saying that to so many people when they would come in, like, and back then being like, how on earth did this person spend $1,000 or buy $1,000 worth of makeup in a year? Like, to back then, to me, unheard of. Like, that was not in my budget at all. So I would be blown away when I'd see Rouge members. I used to want to be like, what do you do for work? How are you spending all this money on makeup? And those people would come in and drop $300, $400, $500 on makeup, and they wouldn't even blink. They would just be like, thanks, and leave. And I used to just be like, how? So when he said that, it just kind of triggered. And then I'm watching him put all my stuff into, you know, the bag. And then he says, oh, you have 5,000 points. Do you want to use them for anything? And the way he said 5,000 points, again, I used to do the same thing. I would be like, you have, you know, 3,000 points. And in my head, I'd be like, oh my God. And I'd be like, do you want anything? And I would just be thinking like, how are you able to buy all this crap? And so the way he said it, it just, I don't know, it made me feel, I didn't feel boastful or braggy. I just felt really humbled, like, wow, you know, I didn't even flinch. I just came in here and I just bought what I wanted. And again, he rang up my total. It was a couple $100. Not even a thought, just handed him my card and I left, you know, and went home and, you know, played in the makeup or whatever. And it was just weird. And I just thought, wow, like how things turn around, how you go from, you know, all of that to now being able to walk in and just buy the things that you want. And it's weird because I go to Sephora all the time, obviously, and I spend money at Sephora, but it never hit me like that. And I don't know if it was because this was the Sephora by my job, which is the one that my friend actually worked at. Maybe that's what triggered like the feelings or whatever, but it was so bizarre. And so, you know, it's just a testament of whatever you're going through at the time, let it be your focus. And that was mine. And I'm telling you right now, I said when I quit, I was like, you're gonna be able to go into Sephora and just buy whatever you want when you want it. That's going to be your story. And you're just gonna have to work hard to get it. And I did. And when I tell y'all, I worked my butt off to get here where I'm at now, and still working like crazy. But just trust where your life is gonna go. Just stay focused, manifest your life, and keep your eye on the target, and I promise you, you will get there. Overall, Sephora is a great company. I did enjoy working there. I didn't like the girls, some of the girls. I didn't like some of the customers, but it was great. You know, I feel like it's a really great opportunity for those who want to get into makeup like I did. You know, it's good. It'll make you learn it fast. And it just was like the catalyst of my obsession and my love for makeup. So it was a great experience, even though it had some parts that I wasn't so keen on. Thank you guys so much for listening to my story. If you like videos like this, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I have plenty more story times. If you're interested, let me know. I will make more videos, and have a wonderful night, you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.